What's up? Matt here from Urchfab. Today I'm going to be showing you how to measure up and bend up a main hoop for your making your roll cage. We're doing it in this Honda Civic. So doing this Honda Civic MSA spec cage. It's gonna have a few extra bits and bobs on it. It's gonna be coming through the bulkhead to the front turrets and a few extra bits in the back. Alright, so I've got my boxes made up ready. Basically got all the plating done. Well, the first thing I always do is set the car dead level, so stick a level on the sill and a level across, like usually go across the front struts and across the back struts, and just set the car up so it's like exactly level. So all I'm using to do this is just basic tools, angle finder. This is like taken from my, it's like a test piece done with the bender. So this is the edge of this tape is the start of the bend. So I've done a video on doing all that. So I'll put a link to that in if you want to go back and watch that one first. So basically, this is what we need for getting our main hoop in. These are going to be the two angles, and then you've got your distances between each bend. And this is just our width across the bottom of the whole thing. So it's basically just two angles. We're only doing 4 bends. Some regs say that you can't have more than 4. You see some with a bend in the middle, but I don't ever do that. I keep it as 4. But it depends what regs you're building your car to. So the first thing to do is we need to see what the total length is going to be for our piece of tube. So right, so first measurement I'm going to take is from the top of the sill, top of this box here. And I'm going to push the tape right into the panel, so it's as tight to the panel as it can possibly go. And then right tight across that. Just over 3 meters. If you push it all the way tight, so it's literally like as tight as you can get it to the roof and everything, you'll usually find you'll be left with about 1 inch to cut off each bottom of each leg, so you're not wasting too much tube. So I'm going to clean up a bit of tube and cut that. I basically got to get this angle here and the top 2 angles. So use my angle jabbler. .62. Basically, if that one's 62, then that one's 28, because it's all got to add up to 90, because your whole hoop going up and over and down is going to be 180. So what did I just say? 62. 62 yeah, 28. Yeah, so if that's 62, that's 28, it adds up to 90, 180 all the way over. The bottom of the legs aren't allowed to bend in, or they are a little bit, but there's an amount. I can't remember what it is, but I try and keep them dead straight. So all right, so that's going to be the start of our first bend there. And then you need to come up from the other side and eyeball when that's going to come up and hit the top of there. And you've got to basically visualise this piece coming all the way down. So that point there is where that 62 degree bend will end. And that'll be the start of our measurement towards the next bend. So then this is the bit where it takes a bit of practice, because you've got to be able to imagine where this piece is coming down. When you get good at it, you'll be able to get it so it'll literally touch there, touch there, touch there, and touch there. Right, so we've got the start of the first bend there. That's where our first bend ends. That's where our second bend starts. And that's where our second bend ends. So we got, I know, 62 degrees for that one, 28 degrees for that one. Now we just need our measurements, so from end of bend to start of the next one, so that's end of bend to the start of the next one, so I'll just measure that. So that's 260. And then we need to trace this line onto the other side of the roof as well. Alright, so 680 across the top in between our two bend start lines, 260 from the first bend to the second bend, 62 degrees on that corner, 28 degrees on that corner, 135, that's basically from the corner of my box. That's the measurement from the edge of the box to the edge of the box. And then if all this is nice and square, then the point that hits the pillar there should be exactly the same as that point there on the edge of my boxes, which So if I want to be 1335 here, I want to be 1335 there as well. You get what I mean? And that's all you need. So 3020 total for the complete up and over, which we'll end up cutting a little bit off, but you're not really gonna, you're always gonna waste a tiny bit. We don't need this measurement because we're gonna bend it and then basically just mark a line off of the edge of that, so that the hoop will be coming up here. Mark a line across the back of it, and we can cut it, and yeah, it'll be a perfect fit then. So that's literally everything we need. So that's our centre line that we've marked in the piece of tube. So we're going to be 340 from the centre, 340 out to the mark where our first bend is there. And then obviously mark the other side, but when it goes in the bender, you're bending the other way, so you need to rotate the tube. Because you're going to bend one that way, and then when you flip it over you'll need to bend it that way as well, so you need to mark on the opposite side. You see what I mean when you attempt to do it. So we're basically on this line, we're going to do our 62-degree bend. So we've got, now got the first bend in. You want to just trace a line off your piece that you made. So basically just eyeballing this along the piece of tube. That's our mark where the start of our measurement to where we're going to take the next bend from. So that's basically this line here. So from here down to our next line, start of the next bend, 260. Start of our next bend. This is where you need something to get everything level, so when you're bending it around you're keeping the piece of tube level, otherwise you're going to have like a crooked main hoop. Alright, so we're set up here now. We're marked on that line. We're going to do our 28-degree bend. Right, so what I do then is just lay it out on my table, so I know that if it sits perfectly 90 degrees on this, then that's how I want it. So yeah, that's perfect. It's bang on 90 degrees. Like I said, you can have this deflecting in one way or out the other way, a percentage, but me personally, I like to just try and keep it. I just try and do them all to exactly 180 degrees. I think it's just, I don't know, it's just the way I like to do it. So now I'm basically going to just copy the exact same thing from my centre point here onto the other side. So there we go. Moment of truth now. Does it fit? So once you've bent it out, if you haven't got a flat table, so if you look, you can sort of swing it in. You can see it's like perfectly straight. Right, I'm going to wrestle it in the car. Right. So now, the hard bit. Oh, she's a good fit. The hard bit is trying to hold that. Well, then mark that. Oh, you son of a bitch. That's it. We're Probably about 1 millimetre off the roof. There is a gap up there, maybe 2 mil, touching down the pillars, both sides. Alright, that's it. How to bend up a main hoop, pretty simple. No special tools. Like I say, there's you know, much more complicated ways of doing it, but as you see, you can get it as good as it needs to be with just basic stuff. So I'm going to get on and do the rest of the cage now. I can't film it all because just the job's got to get done, so next time you see it, it will be that's it for this one. Next video I'm going to show you how to bend up the front legs to get it to come down and match the windscreen pillar. And then I'll do another video just with the tricks of how you get to weld all the bits that obviously you can't normally reach. And then that'll pretty much be it. Once you can bend up the main hoop, bend up the front legs, and you know how to weld it all in, I mean, the rest is pretty self-explanatory if you can manage those bits. So yeah, that's it. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.